the Alabama offense here. And, offensively, some good things happen. A lot of good things happen. Some explosive things happen against Mississippi State. But there's also some things that still need to be cleaned up, still need to be improved upon and worked on. And one of those things, for Bill O'Brien, two things I want to see from Bill O'Brien going forward. Number one, a little bit more creativity in the play calling. And this is what made Steve Sarkisian so good, because Sarkisian was putting players in motion. He was moving players around. He was creating matchups. Like, Sarkisian really found ways to get his best players isolated and get them the ball. And for Bill O'Brien, got to improve on that creativity. Now, he spent much of his career in the NFL with the New England Patriots, mentored by Bill Belichick. So we know Belichick and creativity, they don't fall in the same sentence. And there's only a handful of creative offensive minds in the NFL. When you look at Sean McVay of the Rams, Sean Payton of the Saints, you got Kyle Shanahan of the 49ers, you got my man with the Arizona Cardinals there, Cliff Kingsbury. So only a handful. Also Andy Reid of the Chiefs. So you only have a handful of really big-time offensive minds in the NFL. But for Bill O'Brien, want to see the creativity of the offensive play calling. And when you're in the red zone, trust the run game. Trust the run game. Understand that Brian Robinson and this offensive line can get you 1 to 2 yards and getting Alabama into the end zone. Going back to the game against the Bulldogs, there was a play where Bama was on the 1 foot line, one of the 2 yard line, and O'Brien had a pass play called, and Nick Saban was running down the field. Timeout! Timeout! Hey, ref! Woo! Timeout! Nick gets a timeout. Goes, whatever O'Brien called, we ain't running that. Put the jumbo package on the field. And the next thing you saw, the jumbo package led by freshman tight end Robbie Oots on the field. Run play, Brian Robinson, touchdown. For Bill O'Brien, developing more creativity, trusting that run game in the red area. Another thing, the offensive line. And I feel like moving forward, there are 2 changes that need to happen. Bama is 2 changes away from having a formidable group. I feel like you need to take Chris Owens off right tackle, put him back at center. Because at least at center, he was executing the snaps well. He could hold his own at that spot. And then Javion Cohen at left guard, he is going to be really good for Alabama, but he needs a veteran presence next to him. So taking Owens off right tackle, putting him at center, and then putting J.C. Latham at right tackle, which will give you a line of Evan Neal, Javion Cohen, Chris Owens, Emil Ekiyor, J.C. Latham, and Kendall Randolph at that C-gap tight end position, and you run with that. That becomes your offensive line. You run with that. Chris Owens, move him to center, put J.C. Latham there at right tackle. Those just be my thoughts there on the offensive line. When I look at Bryce Young, Bryce had a strong performance against Mississippi State. 4 touchdowns for him. But what I was happy with, number one, his anticipation on the blitz. Bulldogs ran a lot of cover 0, no safety in the middle. They brought the blitz. They brought the house. Bryce Young getting the ball out to his hot read, whether it was John Mechie for the 46-yard touchdown or to Brian Robinson for the long touchdown. Just that anticipation from Bryce, flipping that ball out to the hot read, understanding where the pressure was coming from, get it out quick. Big plays were made there. And then Bryce trusting his feet. He's starting to trust them legs. Had some runs in the game. Pulled the ball down. Got some yardage with the feet right there. Could have had a touchdown if he did not step out of bounds there. But we're starting to see Young trust the feet more. We know he's got the arm. We know he's got the accuracy. He's going to get better there with the deep ball accuracy, but 24 touchdowns, 3 interceptions so far. Very strong season from one Bryce Young. Now, as we look at the running backs here, I think they're starting to become some chemistry, some connection, some growth, some building happening in that running back room. Brian Robinson is showing pro scouts, I'm an all-around complete back. I can run the ball with power. I got speed and space. I got some wiggle in between the tackles. I can run guys over. can run over guys. I can catch the ball at the backfield. You're seeing what he's doing in that area as a receiver. I'm a really good pass blocker. B-Rob is really increasing and enhancing his NFL draft stock. There was some good things from Roydell Williams over the weekend. 11 carries for 78 yards, and he ran a dude over. And I'm like, my goodness, Roydell, that man got a mom, probably a wife and children. Why you did him like that? I mean, Roydell just ran the guy completely over, but a good game from him. And then Trey Sanders. Coach Saban talked about it today, getting more comfortable, getting more confident in working with those carries. He had a couple of really nice carries against Mississippi State, and two of those where if he could have broke a tackle, would have scored on one of those two. So some good things from Trey Sanders. Alabama's going to need him. Got to continue to feature him, get him comfortable, get him confident, continue to have him rolling because he is a natural back getting up and down the field, north and south, making those cuts there at that position. But as we look at here, the wide receiver room, how about John Mechie? A bounce-back game from John Mechie. I know he's not a 1, he's a 2, maybe even a 3 on a lot of elite teams, but John Mechie, a bounce-back game after just struggling against Texas A&M. He was targeted 14 times, only caught 7 passes, had a few egregious drops, but he came back against Mississippi State off 8 targets, caught 7 passes, 117 yards, half a touchdown. This is the John Mechie that we're used to seeing. This is the John Mechie that we saw a season ago, making those explosive plays. So it's good to see a bounce-back game from him. And then Traeshon Holden. This is the guy that's starting to turn up. This is the guy that's starting to pop. And it's incredible how he and Bryce Young both played high school ball in California. And I remember there was a summer camp, a football camp, where a reporter from USC came to interview Bryce Young and talk to him. And Bryce at that point was committed to the Trojans. He was trying to get Holden to flip from Alabama to USC. That didn't work because Holden stayed at Alabama, but it's crazy how life works. Bryce Young ends up flipping from USC to Alabama after being committed to the Trojans for 14 months, a year and 2 months between 2018 and 2019. So both guys have been close since high school, both guys roommates, both guys best friends, and this connection on the field is starting to pop off. Holden, 3 catches for 70 yards, including a 29-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter where he looked like Robert Foster a little bit. Y'all remember Robert Foster, 2017, Alabama against Colorado State? Foster took a little dump pass from Jalen Hurts and turned on the turbo boost and flipped backwards into the end zone. Little 52-yard play right there. So Traeshon Holden got the shoulders square, turned around and put on the Robert Foster Jets, get into the house. He does things the right way. He practices the right way. He plays the right way. He operates the right way. So happy for Holden. So some good things where Alabama's offense is concerned, but still want to see O'Brien clean up the play calling a bit more, find some more creativity, but also trusting that run game in the red zone. And, of course, the offensive line moving forward. I would take Chris Owens, put him at center, put J.C. Latham at right tackle in your role from there.